Hello, true duelists. My name is Craig Fee. And that's the best I can do for enunciating it, and welcome to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Update. Do you want to hear about the fire format? Do you want to talk about how pure variants seem to be the best deck to beat, and that Fire King cards, while cool, just aren't as strong as the plays that something like Jet Synchron enables in Snake Eye? Are you enticed to know how Voiceless Voice has won a regionals alongside with multiple, Snake Eye decks? Let me tell you folks, the format is known, and I'm here to tell you it's still happening. It's really nothing that interesting to support. Also happening are the biggest events Europe that they have to look forward to, seeing as the lack of YCSs is as persistent as Konami's lack of communication is apparent. So while the community continues to be left in the dark about that, let's shine a light on some opens. Both the German Open and the UK Opens happened last weekend, and looking at my usual source for information, Germany is a mystery in both decks that topped the Open and in general. Who played what? Who won and what decks did well overall? It's a secret, one that's as well kept as why the hell it is Germans apparently watch that Dinner for One sketch on New Year's Eve, or why they're so obsessed with sparkling water in general. Really, what the fuck is up with Germany? That's I don't know, but I have no means of knowing, and it terrifies me. Joshua Schmidt played Paleo. That's literally the one piece of information I have. And I know because my friend has complained that everyone has since started playing Paleo after Josh did online, and now he hates that he's facing up against so many grindy Paleo matchups. So that's cool. The UK Open was more well recorded, if nothing else, on account of it being streamed. Snake Eye did win the event overall because, of course it did. Do you know what format we're in? But World Chalice did manage to get top 8. That's right, 2018's own World Chalice. 2017's? Who cares? Old ass deck before times got top 8 in fire format. I've been unable to find the exact list, but it was in a feature match on the stream of the event, where you got to see it was playing both an Adventure Engine as well as a Phantom Knight one. Engine.deck catching people off guard was pretty cool to see, if only because it was different. And also Synchro IB was used, which that's like the first time I've seen it since it got unbanned, so that's cool. That's nostalgic or something, right? Made for a fun showing at the event, and that was most assuredly otherwise just lobbing hand traps at Snake Eye players that just being this format, isn't it? It's just fucking lobbing Veilers and Imperms and hoping something sticks. So that's that. One person played a pet deck of sorts and did well. Hope for the future, or proof that the UK is a joke? Why not both? Either way, next week we'll have more to talk about, as this weekend is YCS Medellin in Colombia. Europe may not get attention, but South America continues to get events like this one. Will there be a stream? I'm willing to bet no. Will we get any information beyond like a tweet of a picture of the winner? Again, betting no. Will I talk about all of that next week like I always do? Hell yes, bet on that. Yugioh man talking about card show next week, Fridays at the same time, that time being whenever you click on it, which might even be fucking who knows? Who knows? We literally do not know. There is, of course, to no shock, more terrible news for European players as well, because not even Konami is safe from regurgitating MBT's opinions as if they were their own, since apparently the TCG is literally just America. And the American definition, of course, is what I mean by saying that. What means it's either exclusively the United States or possibly all of both North and South America, depending on what it is the Americans want to claim as their own. And like I'm doing right here, because Konami has revealed this week that because the new Speed Duel Midterm Paradox set will not be released in Europe, the cards from it will not be legal for use, with an asterisk there. Because initially there was some confusion as to whether or not Konami was saying you cannot bling out your dinosaur decks with, say, Secret Rare Baby Cerasauruses, but as I understand it, you can in fact use the regular advanced format cards from that set in Europe, since they are reprints. There's nothing new in the advanced format from that set. Instead, you cannot use any of the skill cards, as they are called in Speed Duel, and any Speed Duel event that goes on in Europe. So it's not as bad as it could be, but that's not exactly making it a good thing to state. Because fun fact, if you try to play with those new skill cards in an EU Speed Duel event, immediately banned. I mean, probably not banned, you just got like a warning, but like, you can't use them because. Now, historically, the EU regions have never been able to use product that's not released in their area, and that broadly isn't too important outside of, infamous moments in Yu-Gi-Oh! History when Towers Turbo was more of a thing. And of course, it's the reason that Gaga Head is forbidden in the EU. That's right, no head for Europe. So this isn't a new thing that's going on, it's just stupid, because why the hell did Europe not even get the product? And why do we expect European players to be invested in the game and continue to play it when there are no premier events, and now it's becoming more of a gamble as to whether or not they get any sort of side set or products that are being released? Sure, it's not critical now, since the set that's being passed over is just a speed duel box and it's only impacting speed duelists, which are a much smaller group of players than advanced format, but what if it happens to a more prominent side set in the future? I'm not saying it will, I'm just saying it's gonna be fucking stupid if it does. I don't have any only answer for why did I do that. I don't have any answers for you, only the single most useless thing I can offer in this situation: my sympathies. If you want full details, Konami has dropped a tweet where you can click a link and have things explained to you, such as what cards are not legal, and it provides less information than you want, as is tradition from Konami. And while the TCG continues to wander in blindness from Konami's lack of communication, the OCG did have its April 1st ban list revealed as of last Sunday. How did the OCG choose to address Fire format? With the Fire King variant being the most dominant over there, followed by Voiceless Voice and Tenpai Dragon slightly behind? Well, they did the only sensible thing that they could do. They semi-limited SP Little Knight. My god, they did it! They fixed Yu-Gi-Oh! Just semi-limit the card that barely anyone plays at 3. It just makes sense. The TCG could never even consider making such an intelligent and sensible decision as this. To hit a money card? No, never. The OCG truly is superior in every way. And if you think that, you think like an idiot, not unlike the person who made that decision on the ban list who also thought like an idiot. Why? What does that solve? People playing SP Little Knight in extravagance decks? I guess so, because they also semi-limited extravagance. So less of that for the OCG. Really, the whole list is weird. Limiting Tidal and Tikbu are nothing shocking and probably, good/necessary things to happen. And Wanted going to 1 is a slight shock to me, if only because my dumbass was like, it's a lore card. I wouldn't be shocked if they don't hit it because Diabellstar is going to be a thing in like all the new decks apparently. But even outside of that dumb take of mine, like beyond those hits, that's like the one way they addressed the format. Yeah, they semi-limited Snake Eye Ash and High Avatar Kirin and Kaiser Coliseum for its use in Tenpai, if I'm not mistaken. And then the other big thing was unlimiting Summon Sorceress with an errata. The new errata does make it a worse card, to no shock, making it so that it negates the effects of whatever it summons. It has to summon something from the hand to the opponent's field to get its effect to summon from your deck, and it can only summon a monster of the same type, which is the same, but doing so will lock you into that type for the rest of the turn, which is now an actual hindrance to the card. So it's not like it's a bad thing. You can read the text on screen here, and I'll probably switch or have switched to or from the old text to compare for your own sake. But functionally, it now needs a card in the hand to give to the opponent and then type locks you. Whereas before you could just summon anything from the deck from any card it pointed to. You didn't have to give the opponent shit. I kind of forgot how good the first effect was because it was banned so early in the Link format. But as of now, look, I'm just saying, I've seen a number of replays from people who are like, it's the... And like, nobody's doing anything with this in a deck that wasn't already doing similar things. Like, sure, Cybers and Dragon or maybe something like Zombies can make use of this new effect, but I don't think they're really accelerated beyond the point they were at before. It seems like it's almost more of a win more card at this point to me. Maybe that'll bite me in the ass and you can point at it and laugh in the future and be like, that was a stupid take, by all means. But as of yet, it's cool. It's cool. That's fine. That's fine. I'm fine with that. Little Knight's at 2. That's the takeaway. And the OCG is now safe from Fire Deck's dominance because Little Knight is at 2. And they've only been dealing with Fire Decks since like October. So I'm sure they're very happy about this. And of course, there was a Master Duel ban list as well. It exists. MBT tweeted out this picture in response to the ban list, which honestly, I can't think of a single thing to better sum up the ban list. Because yeah, cards moved around. And despite all those cards bouncing to and from different positions, nothing's changed. The format is like the exact same, except for the fact that Ryan Yu limited the floodgate that's only good against Super Heavy Samurai. Great. The OCG apparently just really loves making Japan deal with the fire cards, because they apparently just really refuse to hit them in any way. I guess they find poplar to be too popular. I don't know. They also will never forgive the Japanese. That's another joke I had written down, but honestly, there's nothing I can tell you that's funnier than the fact that they released that as a ban list. I got nothing. I got nothing. I look like this with this guy on my head, and somehow I'm coming out looking smarter than that ban list. And in some news for the TCG, Konami has announced the Mega Tins for this year. Yes, continuing the celebration of the 25th anniversary of the game, Konami now gives us the Tin of Dueling Mirrors, promising sought-after new alt arts and various things from the Dueling Monsters' most famous cards, or what, fuck it, it's Kaiba Yugi again. Who cares what the blurb is? It's Kaiba and Yugi again. We just simply have not had enough of Kaiba and Yugi to sell tins. The promo says that the two of them are giants over a series of iconic monsters you've only had 46 printings of each, I'm sure, of this point. The tins promise two things, really. The first is, of course, to confuse people as to what year is the 25th anniversary of this game, seeing as how last year's tins were the 25th anniversary celebration, and now this year's are too. So what year was it? Shut up. Buy the product, idiot. And of course, it promises to take cards from 12 separate packs instead of the usual, what was it, like 4 to 6 of the last couple of years? And you might be wondering how few cards they're taking from each of those 12 sets if the tins usually only have 250 to 280 or so cards. Don't worry, because these mega packs this year will have 400 cards in them, with cards from packs as far back as Power of the Elements, released in 2022. Through to Age of Overlord, and then side packs like Amazing Defenders and Wild Survivors. Because it's not enough that you'll have less odds of pulling the secrets that you want, like, Little Knight or Thrust, but now you'll instead really get to look forward to cards that haven't been relevant for like 2 years, as well as cards from Wild Survivors that aren't exactly Vanquished Soul cards, because that's it. Also, don't talk to me about Ground Xeno, because that doesn't fit my narrative, and I'm trying to be snarky, okay? Let's just go with it. Yeah, Xeno's probably a good reprint too, I get it. That's fucking cool though, overall, right? I didn't want cheap singles from the tins anyways. It's not like that's the only thing they've had to offer lately. I want to buy cases of the tins so that I have more scrap metal to use to fill my local landfill. That's the main reason I buy Yu-Gi-Oh product at this point. I'm not kidding, dude. Look at this shit. I don't know how I'm gonna put it on screen, but like these tins have just been chilling because I've been too lazy to properly dispose of them, and I have no use for them. But it's okay, guys, because there's a Red Eyes reprint. Mom, get the fucking camera. The DM Trio is here to save the tins for the 9th year in a row. This time will be different. It didn't work the last 14 times, but let me tell you, this time it's the charm. They do have at least the alt arts of Regeki with Slifer and Feather Duster being used by a Harpy, which is cool, but as a better man than me once said, it's not enough. Once upon a time, the tins were the gold standard for product to buy at the end of the year, and then we decided to kill promos in it, and also any interest from people not wanting to consume duel monsters. I don't really like complaining about products, to be clear. I do it a lot, I know, but it's not the main thing I set out to do. It's just like, why can't we just have a good tin? Is that so absurd to ask for? Oh well, surely 2025 they'll turn it around. Surely, please God, please. And on that happy note, let's shout out this week's sponsor. That's right, it's the LIFD Magnetic Display, the #1 way to support my channel and the true Duelist approved way to show off all your favorite cards, like the Mystic Potatoes that finally came in the mail. That's right, there he is, looking good. He's looking fantastic. You can use promo code YGOSTRATS15 to get 50% off one of these bad boys, either a triple set display or the single. And of course, that is the best way to support me financially as I continue to do whatever it is that inspires me to do this. Thank you to LIFD for the continued support as always, and of course thank you for watching. Did I even mention the promo code YGOSTRATS15? Sure hope so. Either way, my name is Craig Fee. I'll be here next week. I'll be here the week after that. I'll be here some of the weeks, and I'll be here some of the other weeks too. Please subscribe, it would mean a lot. And not only will you immediately be impressing your smoking Italian wife, but the minute you hit subscribe, you'll become a true duelist. Do it. And while the OCG is... And while the TCG...